What's up guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Jacob Pennisi. I'm the fitness director at Millsaps Training Facility, and in today's video, I'm gonna teach you all about BFR, or blood flow restriction training. Let's do it. So what exactly is blood flow restriction training? Blood flow restriction training is when you reduce blood flow to a group of muscles that kind of starves them of oxygen and also forces them to hold on to that lactate and that carbon dioxide for a lot longer than normal. This generates what's called metabolic fatigue or metabolic stress. And that metabolic stress sort of turns your muscles into a gland. And that gland produces a lot of HGH and testosterone, which our body absolutely needs in order to regain the strength and muscle that we've lost during our previous injury, that sort of period of inactivity. So why would we want to do this? Good question. Well, first off, blood flow restriction training is a great option for building muscle. You'll see celebrities like Chris Hemsworth use this to get stupid big before an upcoming movie. But for us, a more practical use is when we're trying to come back from injury. Now, when you're coming back from injury, the doc may tell you lift lightweight for lots of reps. And that's absolutely great advice. But when you use BFR, that light weight still feels really heavy because of that metabolic fatigue, that stress, the burning. It sort of tricks your body into thinking you're lifting really heavy, such as like a 1 rep max. That is what releases the HGH and the testosterone. We get those hormones from lifting heavy, but this allows us to trick our body into thinking we're lifting heavy when we're really not. So how do I make a BFR protocol? So obviously the first thing I need to consider is what type of injury did this athlete have? What exercises can they perform safely and within the guidelines of the doctor? This hugely influences the exercises I pick because it has to make sense for the individual. Then I'll pick 3 to 4 different exercises, and I use something called the 30, 15, 15, 15 protocol. Sounds like a mouthful. What that means is you'll start off by doing 30 reps, which is sort of like your chance to burn out to exhaustion, and then you have 3 sets of 15 after you've already created that intense burn in whatever muscle group you're trying to work. And by doing 30 reps, it forces you to keep the weight on the lighter side, which in turn ends up being safer. So now that we know what BFR training is, let's talk about some of the pros and some of the cons. The good. So we know that it's science-backed and it works. It cuts down your recovery time significantly. And this type of training is a great way to maintain and sometimes build new strength and muscle mass while you're injured or while you're recovering from injury. This type of training has completely changed how we rehab injuries here at MTF. All right, now let's talk about the less good aspects of BFR. So first off, these blood flow cuffs can be a little bit pricey. Now you can buy any old blood pressure cuff, pump it up and start working out, but this is definitely not how I'd recommend going about this. We use smart cuffs. Smart cuffs are produced by Smart Tools USA, and they allow you to type in the percentage of blood flow occlusion, meaning we control a percentage of blood that gets through to the muscles, and then the blood pressure cuffs actually are constantly auto-regulating to maintain that pressure and keep it constant. If you just pump it up, you could be restricting too much, you could be restricting not enough blood flow, and it really causes your results to vary. If we're doing blood flow restriction training on the upper body, we like about a 50% occlusion rate, meaning we're only allowing 50% of normal blood flow to get through to those muscles. And for the lower body, we want as high as 70% occlusion rate, meaning that only 30% of our blood is actually getting through to our legs. It creates a gnarly burn, trust me. Another thing is that blood flow restriction training can be a little bit dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. So don't just buy any old blood pressure cuff off the internet and strap it on, pump it up till you can't feel your arms, and then do curls until you pass out. Trust me, that's not a smart way to train. You need to have a qualified fitness professional or a physical therapist or a doctor help you learn how to use these tools effectively, because if you don't know how to use them effectively, they could hurt your results, they could land you in the hospital. Always train smart, always seek out professional guidance. Don't just take these things on by yourself. One of the ways they can be dangerous is if you pump up the cuffs and leave them pumped up for a long period of time, they could make you a little more susceptible to blood clots. So one way you can combat that and kind of reduce that risk is if your workout's taking more than about 15 minutes, you want to take the pressure away completely, let all the blood flow return, let the burn go away, walk around, get some good circulation flowing, and then pump it back up. And the last con, which is a con, but also it's just kind of part of training, this type of training is extremely uncomfortable. If you look up the video of Chris Hemsworth doing this, he is borderline getting sick because he just is pushing his body so hard. The burn is so uncomfortable. The best way I can describe this is usually when you're lifting weights, as you get towards the end of the set, your legs are burning, your arms are burning, whatever you're working, everything's burning, and it gets worse and worse and worse until you set the weights down. And as soon as you set the weights down, you feel this little bit of comfort, the blood starts flowing, and the burn starts to go away. When you're wearing blood flow restriction cuffs, you set the weight down, but the burn doesn't go away. It still feels like you're lifting just as hard because that burn is just locked into that muscle group. It's not allowing the lactic acid and the carbon dioxide to escape. So it is very uncomfortable, and it can be very challenging mentally to get through a workout. But if you can do it, if you're strong enough and mentally tough enough, the pros absolutely outweigh the cons. So before you start trying to use blood flow restriction training in your workout regimen, make sure you consult a fitness professional, talk to your doctor, talk to your physician, talk to your physical therapist if you're coming back from injury. This is a great tool in the tool bag that has completely changed how I handle injuries here at MTF, and it could help you a lot too. Okay guys, that'll do it for today's video. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button. Comment down below if you have used BFR in the past, you know somebody who's used BFR in the past, or if you plan on using it. And please ask if you have questions. Reach out to me on Instagram, leave a comment down below. I'm here to help. I want to be your guide through these new training methods, and if you need a little bit of guidance, that's why I'm making these videos. So please reach out, join the community by subscribing to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.